correct position. What you want to locate is a roof flap, which is black, and it has these buckles on it. Make sure that that roof flap is facing towards the trailer. Now a little later, I'll give you a tip on how to make it easier to position the tent in front of the trailer the same way every time. On the corner of the tent, near the fender, we want to look for 2 loops attached to the floor of the tent. One loop is at the corner of the tent, and the other loop is a little further out next to this little pocket. We're going to take a tent stake, put it in that loop, and we're going to position that tent stake right in front of the tire, directly below the fender. And we're going to drive that tent stake in. Then we go to the opposite side of the tent, find the same loop, the one next to the pocket, put a tent stake in and pull it taut. We're going to position this tent stake about the same distance away from the trailer as the other stake, the one that we put next to the fender. The remaining 2 stakes we put at the front of the tent, and we're going to pull it a little tight, but we're only going to put them in part way in case we need to adjust them later, and we'll finish pounding them in when the tent is complete. The next step, you take 2 of the straps, find the rubberized hooks on the end. You're going to hook one of the straps to the trim molding on the corner of the trailer behind the door and toss that strap over the roof, getting the buckle as far as you can to the other side. Then you take the second strap, hook it in front of the door, and lay the strap across the front of the trailer, like this. Next we need to find the roof flap that we saw before with the buckles on it. We're going to take the buckle near the fender and connect it to the roof strap that we threw over previously. By pulling on this strap, we can adjust the position of the roof flap until the edge of the roof flap is lined up with the corner of the body of the trailer. If you have a roof rack, you will actually need to loosen the roof rack, and lift it up, and then slide the flap underneath the roof rack and set the roof rack down, but don't attach it. We'll do the same thing on the front. Then at the front of the trailer, we want to get the other buckle and strap connected up, and again we're going to adjust the strap so that the roof strap is lined up with the edge of the body. Pick up the awning pole, and we're going to slide it inside the awning flap. Now you need to position it so that the hole in the awning pole is lined up with the hole in the center of the awning flap. Then we take the flexible pole, we're going to connect it together, take one end, and we're going to fit it in this little pocket that's up on the roof flap, up in the center of the roof flap. We take the other end of the pole and we put it into the hole in the awning pole. Next we hook the hooks from the roof onto the roof pole. Next step is to install the telescoping side poles. Start by extending the pole up to about 6 feet. Taking the awning pole on one side, we're going to slide the tip of the telescoping pole through a loop on the awning flap and through a hole on the end of the awning pole. Next we go to the other side, and we're going to repeat that step with the other pole. Extend it out a little bit, slide it through the loop, pull it tight, and slide it through the hole on the end of the awning pole. Next, you extend the pole out a little bit, and you're going to take the bottom end of the pole and you're going to insert it into the pocket next to the tent stake. Then you're going to go to the other side and do the same thing, making sure that the pole is all the way into the pocket. Then we're going to adjust the tent poles out raise it up until the front of the tent is pulled taut, and go repeat it on the other side, like that. Next to the fender on the tent, you're going to find one end of a buckle. Get one of the nylon straps and connect the buckle into the strap. Take the hook end of the strap, go to the rear of the fender, and hook the hook underneath the rear of the fender, and then tension that strap until it just starts to pull back on the tent a little bit. If the strap has a twist in it, that's okay. It won't hurt the tent, but if you don't like the look of it, you can unsnap it, rotate it, and connect it up again. Just retension it a little bit. Now, you'll want the strap tight against the body side. That will hold the tent tighter to the trailer to keep the bugs out. Now, inside the tent, you'll find a large hook in front of the fender. You hook that hook underneath the body, and then you're going to pull on the strap to tension it. If it's not tight enough, then go back to the outside and retension the fender strap. At the front of the trailer, there will be another little buckle. Take your fourth strap, connect it into that buckle, and then the hook end can be hooked onto the front of the trailer anywhere, and you can tension it. You can hook it on the frame, or another possibility is to shorten it way up and hook it onto the doorstop, since you won't be using the doorstop for the door. Now, unlike the fender strap, the roof straps, you actually do want a twist in it. So if you pull the hook loose, put a couple twists in it, and this will actually eliminate the flutter caused by windy conditions. At this point, we want to inspect the gap between the tent and the trailer. If there's still a gap, we want to tighten that up. The best way to do that is to actually loosen it at the roof slightly, and then we're going to go inside the trailer, make sure the hook is underneath the body, and we're going to retension inside, taking up the slack, and then go outside, and we're going to retension the roof strap, pulling the awning flap until it's lined up with the corner of the body. Now our gap between the body and the trailer is much tighter. Inside the tent, again, there's a little skirt below the door. If that skirt is sagging, what we're going to do is adjust it by adjusting the strap here, and that will tighten it up below the door. The final step on the outside is to snap these straps around the tent pole on either side. The snaps that we just attached on the outside are opposite an elastic strap on the inside. This elastic strap is used to hold the door open when we're using the tent. The side walls of the tent have zippered flaps for privacy that can be opened for ventilation. Inside the door in the corners are small hooks that can be used for hanging jackets or other clothing when you're getting dressed. On the ceiling of the tent, there are 3 small loops that can be used to support or hang objects like a lantern or maybe some clothes. When you're taking the tent down, after you removed all of the tent poles and unstrapped it, the trick to aligning the tent to the trailer easier is to bring it down and align the roof with the floor. You tuck in the sidewalls to make sure everything's neat and square. Then remove the tent stakes towards the front of the trailer first. Now you may need to use a hammer to pull those out. But then fold the tent towards the fender, again tucking in all the sides. Then remove the tent stakes at the rear of the trailer and roll it up, starting at the outside, rolling towards the trailer. Like that. The next time you want to use your tent, You simply lay it in front of the fender, in front of the door, unroll it, unfold it, and the tent is properly aligned to your trailer. One final tip is, where do you put your tent poles? They're kind of long and otherwise get in the way. What I prefer to do is to actually store them under the mattress, right along the sidewall. Put them in under the mattress, slide them tight to the sidewall, and push the mattress down. You'll never know they're there when